Ker ong'eyo. Ker bo ong'e nyako ni. Erokamano. Nitie gimoma min piny owacho kae. And I want to repeat it loudly. And please bear with me. A lot of the events that are going on now are being covered live in NTV. But the reason I want to say this because next year we are going to go either to Migori or to Kisumu. But I think it has been decided it's Migori. Now, if you look all around, we have been assisted by institutions in the corporate world. And I want to mention all of them because they intend to go with us to Migori. They told me as much. And they are watching us to see whether it is necessary to continue investing into Piny Luo. There are only 3 cultural festivals in the country where the national government has been giving assistance. The first is the Turkana one, the Ma community, and the Lamu Cultural Festival. This time around, and I want to thank you, Baba, Raila Odinga. The national government has invested resources in Piny Luo, and I want to register my felicitation to the national government, particularly the Ministry of Tourism, the ministry in charge of sports, and the ministry in charge of culture. And their representatives are here, and they're going to be with us throughout to know whether it is useful to continue investing into Piny Luo. But they have made that decision. But it depends on what we do. I want to appreciate the Nation newspaper group together with the Nation group or the Aga Khan group, because we got 2 institutions from the Aga Khan group, that is the Nation and the Diamond Trust Bank. They have assisted us. We have also been assisted by the Kenya Aviation Authority. If you go to the airports all over the country, they have put banners for Piny Luo. Everybody arriving in Kenya today, whether it's Jomo Kenyatta, whether it's Mombasa, everywhere, they are advertising the Piny Luo, and we want them to continue doing that. We have also received assistance from the Kenya Commercial Bank, from the Cooperative Bank, from the Diamond Trust Bank, from the NCBA Bank. We have received assistance from Lab Fund. We have received assistance from Safaricom. We have also received assistance from Kenya Airways, making it possible for Gor Mahia team to come by air, courtesy Kenya Airways. And they have said when Yanga is coming in February, they will pay for their tickets and pay for Gor Mahia Kogalo. We have also received assistance from KBL, Kenya Brewers Limited, and from Just University. All these organizations are saying they want to be part of the team of sponsors and partners for Piny Luo. So we are going to meet them in Migori. How many people would welcome this organization and others to continue giving assistance to Piny Luo? Let me see a show of hands. Koroku yena abe adwa wacho gimoro matin, nitie joloso moko mabende biro, tadwa wacho gimoro matin kae. In history, and right now, in a lot of discourse, in matters concerning affairs of men and women who have changed humankind, one of the greatest debates in England is who is the greatest Englishman who ever lived. And the debate is normally and most of the times between Shakespeare and Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill, not because he was a prime minister, because he was a great writer and historian. And the other person in England, sometimes that names keep on coming, is Sir Isaac Newton. If we talk about the greatest black man that ever lived, the debate is between Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela. Not so much because they were princes or kings or monarchs, but because of what they did for the world and for the nation. And in that category falls one called Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. In the United States of America, when they talk about the greatest American that ever lived, the name that keeps on coming is that of Abraham Lincoln. Not because he was president of the United States of America, but because he believed that America cannot be great if it is half free and half slave. Our Lord Jesus Christ, whom we worship, was never a pope. He never occupied any position. He was never a cardinal. But his history and work goes across continents. Muhammad the prophet, he was not a king, he was not a monarch. But what he did for many, many centuries, and we're talking about over nearly 2,000 centuries, is because of what they stood for and what they did. And I want to remind the Luo nation, and this I want to say without fear of contradiction, that Raila Raumul Odinga is a great Kenyan and a great statesman, not because he is a party leader, not because at one time he was a minister. Raila Raumul Odinga is a great Kenyan because of what he stands for. And you will find any time we have made a decision, including now, to work with partners, Raila will never allow you to do what is wrong. And I'm glad, Baba, that when it came to the question of abductions, you spoke plainly. You didn't mince your words. And I am saying for the Luo nation, we may not have been produced a president in this nation, but the time will come. The time will come. The time will come. And the reason why that time will come is because of the sense of justice of the Luo community. The greatest asset that we have is not money, is not the land we own. It is our sense of justice. And on that one, I can tell you tomorrow, yesterday, and in the future, that the leaders have never been mediocre. They stand up. Jeremiah, one of the most brilliant politicians who left a record, but because of his sense of justice. Tom Mboya had a sense of justice. Arsene Kodek had a sense of justice. And I can tell you, because of Raila's sense of justice, that is why he has won elections. Me, I believe that Raila was and is president because many times he was robbed of election, and that should never happen.